Hey guys, welcome back to Heavy Metal Rex. My name is Oasis, and behind me is my 2021 WRX Premium named Afi. And you've seen a couple of videos with this car. I've done a lot of stuff to it. I haven't really had it for very long, just since December 2021. But I did put in an order for a 2022 in white, another WRX Premium. And you're probably wondering why. I did write down a couple of reasons, and I think this is going to help you decide whether you want a 2021 or a 2022 as well. If you look on my channel, I do have a video that I did it's a review of a 2022, and I have to say, like everybody else, I was a little apprehensive, yet after finally driving one, touching it, feeling it, looking at it in person, I think that you owe it to yourself to do the same. And there's a couple of things here that I want to talk about. I did write them down because I am getting old. I just turned 37 this month, actually. But again, this car has been super fun. If you want something semi-inexpensive, tunable, safe, reliable, and everybody talks about reliability, they are very reliable. You take care of them, they will take care of you. This car has been super fun. 6 months I've had it, I've loved it. I mean, I've done track days, I've done a little bit of autocross, I've done just like tons of cruises, been going to car meets, racing people. It's been a blast. And on top of that, we even got a bunch of snow. I was able to drive through. I've got my snow tires, and it was a lot of fun. So let's get that out of the way. This is a great car. Now, why did I go with the new one? I'll tell you. The number one thing that I noticed that I actually cared about the most when I drove the 2022, and I mentioned this in a retrospect video I did when I hit 10,000 miles, just for clarity, right now I'm at 12, I think right at 13,000. So 3,000 miles, not that much over my 10,000. The other video I did about 10,000 miles. The clutch is significantly better in the 2022. And I have to say, and this isn't even stock, right? Currently I'm running an E-Tune, which does change the parameters of the accelerator. So the stock tune on this car is not very good. It is the one thing that, they have that adage where they say, never meet your heroes. Finally, after so many years, I waited 20 years to get this car, and I finally got it, and immediately, well, I won't say immediately, but as I was driving home after I bought it, I was telling myself, wow, this actually doesn't drive very well. It drives like shit, and I don't really like it. But because it's the car I wanted, sometimes you got to make those concessions. However, in the 2022, you don't have to. The clutch engagement is much smoother. Letting off and putting the gas down it's a much smoother interaction. And I promise you, if you go drive the new one, you will feel it immediately. Actually, that's the first thing you're going to feel. As soon as the car takes off and you shift for the first time, you're going to feel it. Because the one thing that was shitty about the stock tune was you were shifting as boost was kicking in. And so the car was very jerky. Hated it. The tune fixed that a lot, but just having that from stock is very, very nice. That's a big deal. Number two, the engine. Look, even though the FA20 was newer than those EJ25s, there was a couple of issues with it, mainly with people wanting to tune them and go over 350 horsepower. And, you're taking a chance with the FA24s. Apparently, the rods are 40 or 45% thicker or more powerful. That alone tells you everything you need to know. You want to tune it, you're going to have a better engine. And what's better than having a newer engine? And I know there's a couple of things that have been coming out on Consumer Reports of things why the 2022 WRX isn't as good, but it's weird things like the noise the noise in the cabin, which honestly, this is just noisy as hell. Anyway, a moot point. Suspension being stiff. Well, it's a sports car. Well, sports sedan. So you really have to expect that. There's really no way that you can argue those things. Those are somewhat subjective things. Because if you're looking for a sport tuned vehicle, you expect it to be a little rough. So that's not even a problem. So next, this is more of a subjective thing that I know I've talked about before, and people have beat it to death on the internet, and that's the styling. Now, realistically, the new car, it is a newer style. That much we can all agree. The lights, I have aftermarket lights. Had I gone with the 2022, I would not have had to get aftermarket lights. My main issue was living out here. And actually, it's funny that we've been talking about this because Subaru just put out a recall for 200,000 Imprezas having a dim headlights. So just imagine if you were one of those guys, right? So I live out in the woods. It's dark at night. Deer be jumping out. I needed a brighter, wider headlight. So this was really cool cosmetically, but for me, it was somewhat of a safety issue. So like the newer ones, that's not an issue because they actually come with, I believe it's like dual projector LED headlights, which is nice, and that's perfect. So like $600 right here, I didn't even have to spend if I got the 22. I didn't even think about that because I assumed just like this that the premium probably didn't come with that because this premium didn't come with LED headlights. You know, you get those on the limited, which is like $36, almost $37,000. I mean, that's like STI territory. And you know what? I don't even know if the stock STI comes with them. Anyway, I'm not gonna worry about that. Next, the infotainment system. This has like a 8-inch Starlink system, but I will tell you, no money was spent on that system. It's really shitty. It is slow. It is sluggish. It is non-intuitive. It is just trash. Now, I know that the new premium comes with like a 12-inch screen, and it is still the Starlink system. It's marginally better. I believe the biggest change that you're going to see is the rear camera is right now running off that 8-inch screen, and it's not super clear, whereas on that 12.5-inch screen, your rear camera is much, much bigger. If any of you have gotten the iDoing unit in your 2015 and 2021, you'll notice that the biggest upgrade you get visually is when that rear view camera is on there. It's like, it's crisp, it's clear, it's big. And that's what I noticed in the new one, the 2022, at least with the premium, with that bigger screen. That is a nice feature. Again, that's more of a safety feature because people always forget that, yeah, a lot of the younger guys are getting these cars, you know, younger girls are getting these cars. They want to drive them fast, want to modify them. But like at the end of the day, for me, and for a lot of people my age that get this car, it's fun and function at the same time. So like, you got to think about these things. And so that's something I think about. You know, my wife's got a Volvo that has a big old display in it. And as much as I hate displays going forward, I mean, there's really not much we can do about it. So just get them in there. It's okay. I really like that. Now here comes some of the more FedEx trucks is going by. So now here's some of the things that I really wanted to get into. This is where a lot of people are waiting, but I feel like the longer you wait, you know, the opposite is going to happen. So right now, we've got almost 6 years worth of research and development, mod support, parts, forums. You can get on Reddit. You can find out pretty much anything you need. Something happens. You have like engine codes. You can find out about it online pretty damn quick. I mean, if something goes wrong right now, I can pull my phone out and I can Google it and get the answer almost immediately. Now, just like every new car that comes out, that you're going to have to wait, right? There's going to be some time before you're going to get those kinds of answers. You know, even right now, I know there's a JB4 tune for this car. Not this car, for the 2022 WRX. And it's really awesome and it's fairly inexpensive, but it's an iterative process. You know, yeah, you could buy it, and I probably will get it as soon as I get the car because I got this tune, so I'm going to tune the next one. But the answers aren't all there, and everyone is still slowly putting together the parts. Hell, some parts are not even available. Like, so for example, ETS is making a J-pipe, and I've been following it for the last 2 months now, and they're not releasing it. They said they're going to release it in August. Now they're saying they're not going to release it until September, which is fine. You know, let them take the time they need to build what they need and test it. You know, same thing with an intake. They've got an intake that's coming out later. You know, there are some rumors, and I have not been able to confirm. Actually, and see, this is the thing I'm talking about. It's been trying to find online the mod support. So things like axle backs. Are the axle backs actually available? You know, they are available. And then there's some people are saying some 2021s axle backs actually work on the 2022 as well. But there's not enough information on the internet about that. So mod support, it's coming up. This goes right into the tunes. Is there anybody tuning the 2022s right now? Not really. At least none that I can find. You know, with Cobb doing whatever they're doing with the green speed BS, there's less and less options. Or, you know, we'll have to dig more into open source tuning, or like this, the Berger Performance is doing their JB4, which again, it's a piggyback tune, so it's a little different. So there's things about tuning that we're gonna have to, you know, we're just gonna have to play it by ear. And you know, as somebody like me, I don't tune cars. I don't know everything about that, but like I sit online and I read and I watch videos and I talk to other people. You know, we have a very, very supportive Subaru group here in St. Louis. that work with or at the performance shop, and all they do is tune Subarus, and all they do is work on Subarus. So, we have a good support system here, but I think a lot of people are still just kind of waiting to see what happens with it. So this last point that I want to talk about, and this is, again, another thing that people have just talked so much about, and I kind of skipped it when I was talking about the newer style, is the cladding, the plastic cladding. Now, I got a blue, Royal Riley blue, with the gold wheels. It's very traditional, and I love it. This is what I wanted. However, I don't want a Royal Riley blue with all the cladding. And I feel like I got the blue. I wanted to do something different. I went with I believe it's called ceramic white pearl. Really good chance I'm not going to keep the wheels. Most of this car actually needs to be parted out. I probably won't get a chance to do that until early September. Everything's got to come off. The lights got to come off. I have to find new wheels. A lot needs to be done over here, but we're going to sell the car. We're going to part it out. The cladding. I've seen the parts online. It's like $900 to just get some plastic painted. Personally, I feel like that is a lot of money. I'm sure you could take them off at home and paint them yourself. If I decide to go that route, I'll probably do it. However, I've got a couple of people actually here in St. Louis that do car wraps and do graphics for cars. And actually, because of the white, I have an amazing idea plan for it, with the specific color wheels, which I'm actually going to go a little bit wider this time around, and some hood graphics and some side graphics, because I did the performance part, and this time I want some showmanship on it. So I'm actually, and that's the reason why I got the white, is because I want the white with the black bumper, the black cladding, and the black in the back to kind of come together. And I was actually thinking about going with white wheels this time around. This way, you can hate the black cladding unless it works with the scheme, with the design of the car, which I think you guys are going to be surprised. I cannot wait. I'm actually most excited about that. I had a dream when the same night I pre-ordered the car about what I wanted to look like, because I kept thinking, am I going to spend $900 on this stupid cladding? Am I going to spend $800 on an STI wing? And I don't really want to spend that kind of money just on cosmetics. And also, if you have a 2022 and you decide to get the STI wing, please be very careful, because the fit is not very good, and you will get water in the trunk unless you properly seal it. I've got a couple of guys online that have done that, and it's, they say, yeah, it looks great, but there is a lot of prep work that you need to do to make sure it is safe, it's not, flimsy, not flopping around, and they've got the proper foam padding underneath it so that it's watertight. Very important. So those are the things that I wanted to talk about, and at least those are my reasons for getting a 2022. I think that it's just a newer car. There's more that we can do with it. With the tune already, some of these people have gotten cars with just E30 and a turbo back, at 370, 380 horsepower. That's a lot. This one's pushing 300, and I've put some money into it. I put some time and some money into it, and that's, you got to think about that. If you look at muscle cars, you throw $4,000 or $5,000 on a muscle car and you get about 300 horsepower, some crazy shit like that. That's not the case with these cars, especially this one, because anything, if I want to do anything more, I'm looking at another engine right off the bat, $7,000-8,000, which I didn't really know that about these, and so that part kind of sucks. Now we've seen all the stuff online with them taking out a FA24 from the Ascent and doing all kinds of mods to it, throwing turbos at it and getting 500-600 horsepower. I still think it's something we're going to have to wait, but these few things that I've mentioned, I think if you're trying to decide between a 2021, a used 2021, and a new 2022, I feel like it's a better chance. I think it's a better choice to go with the 2022. Especially with the used market. The used market is pretty shitty. I'm actually putting this has 13,000 miles. It's a 2021 premium. I was bone stock. I'm probably going to list it as at maybe 32, which is not bad, because I've seen right now, if I go on Facebook Marketplace in my area within 25 miles, there's a guy selling a base premium with 20 or 25,000 miles for 35,000 or 34. And some dealerships are wanting even up to 36,000, which, no one in their right mind should pay $36,000 for a 21 or lower premium at all. So think about that. You know, when you're looking for your new car, it's not that bad. So that's it. That's all I have. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope I answered some of your questions, and I'll see you guys in the next one.